Hey everyone, it's Michael, and welcome back to round number one here on YouTube. This is your weekend edition. I hope your weekend is going well. We got a packed show today. Sukeban, New Japan Pro Wrestling's ownership transfer, and a look ahead to tonight's AAA Night of the Greats. We got some betting odds to tell you, so let's get right into it. So we're going to start off by talking about Sukeban. Now, Sukeban is one of the most fascinating slow burn projects in all of wrestling right now. And the more I look at how they're moving, the more it becomes clear. This isn't just a gimmick promotion. This is a long-term play. This is a group building a world, not just a roster. I've talked about Sukeban before on this channel and what little I know about Sukeban. Now, it's a Japanese female wrestling league with a incredibly flexible talent strategy. They can use almost any major Joshi star who isn't locked down exclusively by Stardom. Their roster is divided into stables or fractions, if you prefer that term, with the lone exception of the character Stray Cat, who operates as her own entity. But in practice, you're really looking at 5 groups: the Tokyo Dolls, Dangerous Liaisons, the Harajuku Stars, Cherry Bomb Girls, and the Vandals, with Stray Cat floating in her own orbit. When you compare Sukeban to Stardom, Marigold, or NJPW, you immediately see the difference. Stardom and Marigold are touring companies based on traditional pro wrestling. NJPW blends wrestling with idol-style entertainment. Sukeban is something else entirely. Sukeban is a limited schedule attraction, almost like a Cirque du Soleil production. Their presentation pulls from Japanese delinquent girl culture, anime, fashion, and pulp culture. And the live experience includes a DJ spinning tracks during the show. It's wrestling, but it's also performance art, fashion show, and underground club energy all rolled into one. Their most recent event was at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City on May 19th, 2026. It wasn't live streamed. Almost none of their events are, but the social media clips that did surface show a company with some of the strongest branding in women's wrestling. The event was sponsored by Nike. The character designs were sharp. The production was high-end, and the visual circling online looked incredible. Now, because Sukeban doesn't run weekly events and doesn't have a streaming or television presence, you think maintaining momentum would be difficult. And honestly, that was the big question after their debut. Would people come back for a second show, a third, a fourth? Well, Sukeban debuted in New York City in 2023. Their last show was in New York in 2026. And on July 3rd, at Anime Expo in Los Angeles, they've run their 8th event. So far, the test of repeated attendance is going very well. And there are still major markets they haven't touched yet: Japan, Paris, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Mexico City, cities with strong wrestling communities, strong fashion scenes, and a big interest in Japanese culture. Sukeban hasn't even begun to tap into its full geographical potential. Back in 2025, Variety covered Sukeban's partnership with NTD Docomo Studio and Live, which is a major Japanese telecom and media player. Their deal positions Sukeban to leverage NDSL's talent management, content distribution, and IP development infrastructure, including their experience producing series for Netflix and Prime Video. This is not a small partnership. This is a signal. If Sukeban can continue drawing hundreds and in some cases a few thousand paying customers to these limited events, and if they can build a loyal audience instead of one-time curiosity buyers, they can carve out a real slice of the international wrestling market. And honestly, they're checking boxes that Stardom, Marigold, and NJPW aren't checking internationally. The biggest challenge for Sukeban going forward is simple. Can they turn first-time attendees into returning fans? If they can do that, this promotion becomes sustainable and potentially something much bigger. Okay, let's move on to the next segment of the show, which is I'll be talking about the New Japan Pro Wrestling transfer. And this is the biggest story in Japanese wrestling in years. New Japan Pro Wrestling is being transferred from Bushiroad to a new joint venture backed by Cyber Agent and TV Asahi. Notice that I said Cyber Agent and not Cyber Fight. That distinction matters. And why was this transfer? Why did this transfer happen in the first place? And it's because Bushiroad believes this move will help New Japan Pro Wrestling grow its digital presence, make better use of its video library, and strengthen the company long term. Bushiroad is not abandoning the brand. They're stepping back from direct ownership and putting New Japan Pro Wrestling in the hands of companies that can actually scale it. This is about modernization, stability, and long-term value. Now, let's look into the share transfer, the details behind it. TV Asahi already owned about 23% of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Bushiroad held about 70%. With this transfer, Bushiroad is handing over 3.55 million shares to TV Asahi and 6.9 million shares to Cyber Agent. After the dust settles, TV Asahi and Cyber Agent each end up with 46.3% ownership. The deal is valued at roughly 3.6 billion yen, or about $22.6 million in US funds. And to be honest, 22.6 million for 70% of what was once considered the second biggest wrestling promotion in the world feels shockingly low. For comparison, 10.5 million shares of TKO stock are worth over 2.1 billion USD. It really puts into perspective where New Japan Pro Wrestling sits today. Probably the third or fourth biggest promotion globally, depending on how you rank it. So, Cyber Agent is one of Japan's largest digital media companies. They own Amoeba TV, Amoeba, Cyber Fight, which includes Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT, NJPW, and GanPro. But here's the key. Cyber Fight is not the buyer. Cyber Agent is keeping New Japan Pro Wrestling separate, which tells you they see New Japan Pro Wrestling as a premium property that deserves its own lane and its own strategy. Now, TV Asahi has been tied to New Japan Pro Wrestling for decades. They control the tape library. They're the broadcast backbone of New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're the mainstream visibility for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're the ones who can put New Japan Pro Wrestling in front of casual Japanese television viewers in a way no streaming service ever could. So this partnership gives both digital muscle and traditional TV reach for New Japan Pro Wrestling, something they've needed for years. And what this means for New Japan Pro Wrestling, this is a chance to modernize the brand without losing its identity. So what I expect is the following: a stronger digital strategy, more cross-promotion with Amoeba. And if you didn't know, Amoeba is losing their weekly WWE programming later this year to Netflix. So this is perfect for New Japan Pro Wrestling to fit into the whole Amoeba ecosystem. More mainstream TV exposure in Japan, a more stable financial foundation. And also continued collaboration with Bushiroad, who still handles select merchandise like the New Japan Pro Wrestling trading cards. And yes, Bushiroad still owns Stardom. Stardom's president Taro Okada, who also works for New Japan Pro Wrestling, has already said that the two promotions will continue working together as part of the broader Japanese wrestling ecosystem. As for international push, maybe, but I think it's complicated. Like I've said repeatedly on this show, that New Japan Pro Wrestling's partnership with AEW has cannonballed their ability to expand globally. And I think that's still true. And this new ownership structure doesn't magically fit that. So, in closing, this isn't a sale. It's a strategic transfer designed to put New Japan Pro Wrestling in the hands of a company that can actually grow it in 2026 and beyond. Okay, so let's get into the last segment of the day. Now, tonight is AAA Night of the Greats. It airs tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it live and free on the YouTube and Facebook pages of both WWE and AAA Lucha Libre. If you're outside of Mexico, this is the way you can watch it. If you're in Mexico, I don't know for sure, but I think this will be airing on Fox. But nothing was confirmed by the WWE towards English markets, whether this show will be broadcast in Mexico City on Fox. But either way, I'll be watching it live, taking notes, and tomorrow you'll be getting the full breakdown, every match, every angle, every surprise. Now let's talk about betting odds because they're out and they're pretty interesting. Now, here are the betting odds heading into tonight. We got El Grande Americano, the Ludwig Kaiser version, is a minus 650 favorite towards El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, at plus 375. If you're a gambler, that's a tempting underdog. I would definitely bet on Gable. El Hijo del Vikingo is a minus 200 favorite against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. at plus 150. I thought they changed this guy's name to Dr. Wagner Jr. I don't know why they're still going with the son of Dr. Wagner Jr. Anyways, moving on, the War Raiders, which are minus 155 favorites against Pagano and Psycho Clown at plus 115. Then we have La Catalina, Lola Vice, and Bailey are at a massive minus 800 favorites against Toxicas at plus 425. So if you're watching the show today, enjoy it. If you're waiting for the analysis, I've got you covered tomorrow. I'm Michael, the Round Number One YouTube channel. See you tomorrow.